But this is the next game. It's England against Brazil. Last outing for the home side, and the crowd has stayed to cheer them on here in Sao Paulo as we head towards evening. And Brazil looking for their first ever victory against England in this series. 24-12, they last met yesterday right here in this tournament. And Brazil with a couple of tries, which I'm sure they look to exploit again here this evening. Changes to both teams. Brazil, the interesting absentee is Ishibashi, who suffered an injury in that last match against France, so she will not take part. Just 4 on the bench for Brazil, and that means that Edna Santini is promoted to the starting 7, where she is featured for most of this tournament. England will Packer, Fleetwood, Wilson Hardy, you've just seen, Brennan, Richardson, McKenna and McLean is Simon Middleton starting 7. Sute, former England international, is beside me, and Amy Wilson-Hardy, always fascinating to get the inside track and to the players, and I suppose how much they enjoy this pursuit and what they get out of it.
Yeah, I mean, she talked about the fact that she realises how fortunate she is and how fortunate so many of the players here are that they get to do rugby as a career. They get to do it part-time or full-time. You know, when I was playing, when the players that I played alongside and against were playing, we'd have given our right arms, although we wouldn't have been very good rugby players then, to be able to do that, to dedicate yourself to the sport.
So Brazil up against England, and the crowd really making their voices heard on the far side of the stadium. Referee is Gabriel Lee from Hong Kong. So Ishibashi out, as I said. Mulbauer will act as captain for the match, and beautiful conditions in a beautiful evening in Sao Paulo here for this game. I suppose for Brazil's mindset too, they got to banish the memory of yesterday in this game. It's a new match, you know, it's a new day, and they got to take this game to England. Well,
and they came good at the end of that game. England were 4 tries up. Brazil scored the last 2. There is bags of experience on the pitch, though, for England. Simon Middleton picked a few of the new players earlier in the day, but not here.
Strange decision, really, I suppose, if you think about it, you know, to give the new caps a chance in what was the biggest game, the Cup, and then now, really, when this is just playing for points. England, and a brilliant start this is too. Look at the pace of Brennan, Natasha Brennan. Does she need support? No! Twisting on the inside, faking the step in, and on the outside she goes, darts down, and Natasha Brennan for England.
Brilliant start from England. Natasha Brennan, and we've hardly seen her with the ball in any space. The try she's made, she's had to make for herself, but this time England pick her to start on the wing. They get good balls straight out, with the in and out there that holds up Edna Santini, and the pace to outpace Kakan, who's trying to catch. A lovely finish from Tash Brennan, showing the value to England of having that absolute out-and-out gas on the wing.
Well, we won't mention the conversion from Sarah McKenna, but England 5 points to lead. The perfect start against Brazil. This, of course, for 7th place in the overall standings.
Yeah, a lot riding on this game. Might be 7th, 8th playoff though. Brazil playing at home, England playing after being really unhappy with their performances so far today. So both will be desperate to put in a good performance.
Ball at the back for Brazil. First touch for Araujo. Trying to ship this one on. A dangerous pass to make inside the 22 with England breathing down. And can Brazil straighten here? Campos struggling to hit the deck here. England the choke tackle, trying to hold her up and force the scrum. Campos did well with a bit of help from her Brazilian teammates, but it's carried in. They haven't used it. England get the scrum.
A couple of big driving mauls we've seen in the sevens today, isn't it? Quite unusual. Ball gets trapped in there though, and they can't get it out. A bit of bulk in both front rows actually. England with a couple of 15s forward, Fleetwood and Packer in their scrummage.
Katie McLean to feed.
Yeah, Katie McLean showing her versatility. Normally a fly half. She's played a bit of hooker in this tournament as well, but scrum half here. Of course, the 15s World Cup winning captain and fly half.
Ball squirts out the back, and Richardson the intended target. It doesn't go her way, and the kick chase. Oh, just couldn't keep her feet. Edna Santini makes the tackle, goes in chest height on Packer. You don't do that. Around the ankles, the best way to stop her. Again, scrapping on the ground. Brazil and Estevez trying to make the presence. Fella Richardson with a little show and go. Over the 10. towards the 22. One-on-one, Richardson tries the handoff. Tackle goes in from Araujo. Had to be made, but Richardson, the strength to stay on her feet as long as possible, allows the support to get there. McLean with a pass to Packer. Well, she thought about passing, which was the right option. Will they get away with it? The one-armed dink out the side. Here is Wilson Hardy trying to go to the outside. Amy Wilson Hardy for England. They're going to have their second try, and she touches down well. I wonder was a wrong decision made there for a minute or two, but they got away with it.
They got away with it. Molly Packer just needed to pass that first time. She's been playing a lot of 15. She played in the Autumn Internationals at 15s, and her instinct is always to take the ball in. It needed to go first time that time. Molly Packer, the more 7 she plays, the more she'll instinctively fling the ball out when it's the right thing to do. Amy Wilson-Hardy, though, didn't need the extra space that would have given her. She is a very, very good finisher on the outside.
Conversion of the post and over, 12 points to 5. Amy Wilson-Hardy stretches England's lead against Brazil. Well, you wonder what if Santini had held her balance after kicking that ball through. She might as well. Wasn't to be though, and Campos takes the return on the switch. Brazil keep it alive. Here is Santini, and a gap opens up in the middle. She doesn't need a second invitation. Stretches the legs. They're not going to catch her. McLean gives chase, but it's all in vain. And it's going to be a try for Brazil. And Araujo, a brilliant finish by the little Brazilian.
Yeah, Araujo just saw the gap open up in front of her. You could see the England's defensive pattern as Richardson wasn't quite sure whether the player inside her had the tackle or not. Araujo saw the chance. Bang, went straight through the hole, and she has got a bit of pace.
Amanda Araujo spotting the gap. Off she goes. Conversion from Cocan. 12 points to 7. The gap closed to just 5, and that's the perfect response from Brazil. Very like Santini and Araujo in terms of build, but maybe a bit of height advantage on the try score, if we're being honest.
Cocan just about to take the kick-off for Brazil. She's been a standout player for them this tournament, a real coming-of-age tournament for her.
High restart gives supporters Estevez a chance to make the tackle, forcing them to play it from their 22. Little wraparound, nice switch from McKenna. And here's Richardson. Great tackle goes in that time from from Barent. And Wilson Hardy out to McLean. Packer. Well, I tell you what, she's not known for her pace, but that's not a bad run. And the switch back inside. Marley Packer. How do you like that? Stretching the legs, and away she goes.
Yeah, real strength and power from Packer because there was another player on the outside. Defensively, Brazil were at 6s and 7s, not quite sure whether to stay with Packer, not quite sure whether to go to the outside, but I think Vicky Fleetwood was waiting. Yeah, there she is, who definitely does have some pace, the former hurdler. Marley Packer just powers through, steps off her left, front of Santini.
Here's the conversion attempt, no problems from there. 19 points to 7. England extend their lead once again. 20 seconds now to play at the end of the first half. What have Brazil got in response? A decent take. The restart, Wilson Hardy leaves it. Cocan with the pass to Santini. Tackle goes in from Fleetwood. Brazil, did that go backwards? It did. Play on. Campos, 2 outsider. Berent hits the ground. Still there for Campos. Try score Araujo. No room that time though. And a little wrap around is from Sarda. She's put down still inside the Brazilian 22, Campos. Opting to switch it right, and the crowd want to see a flourish. The pass was poor from Cocan. Well, it's been a very entertaining first half. Plenty of tries as well, the majority of them going to England, but Brazil certainly not dead and buried here. The fans, something to stick around for in the second half. 19-7, England leads.
Na sequência, a final de prata, final da taça prata
No changes. We'll give a couple of minutes and then we'll get some on. Look, simple game, anything you play it like that. Shifted the ball at pace, away from the contact, into space. Again, just really put some pace on the game. All right. You know, these aren't slouches, but we've shown we can match them better when we get the ball on the front foot. Okay, into space. So good work on that. In terms of our defence. Squeeze our space in the middle. Don't get too wide around the centre, around the ruck area. Okay, because that'll be their number one rule. They'll see that and they'll take it. Okay, make them play to the edges. Side backs chase them down if needs be. Okay, just a little bit tighter in the middle of the field and our rucks. Keep our line speed on. Okay, keep recycling the ball quickly. 2 passes into space, and away we go.
Keep that energy high, yeah?
Yeah, keep the energy right up there.
Empty the tank, ladies, empty the tank.
Vamos para o segundo tempo. Decisão de 7 lugar. Super desafio para o Ranking Sevens. Pagar parcela de Inglaterra 19, Brasil 7.
So second half all set to go, and England leading by 19 points to 7. No substitutions from Simon Middleton. Says he will make some though after a minute or two. Decent take, wasn't that under pressure from Morocco? Little show. Brazil up towards the halfway line through Estevez. Slow ball coming back though. Not releasing on the ground. England get the penalty. Packer wastes no time in getting on with it. Out as far as Richardson. Wilson Hardy. The pass to the first try scorer of the game, Natasha Brennan. Can't get away that time though. They don't release on the ground. Penalty to Brazil.
Now, the referee didn't like the roll of Natasha Brennan there. Normally players try and buy themselves a bit of time with the extra roll. The ref wasn't having any of it, so penalty to Brazil. On comes Joanne Watmore in this corner, not sure who's gone off. Vicky Fleetwood, I think it is, down there, that's crept off the pitch, which means that Jo Watmore's come on, probably in the fast prop role, if you like. The speedster on the other side of the pitch from Tash Brennan.
So Watmore, let's see what she can do. Brazil find a decent touch at a line out just outside the England 22. Try here and put them right back into this game. Plenty of time left on the clock. And it'll be Edna Santini to try and hit her player. They go to the front. Well, looked like there was a bit of contact in the air there for me. The referee's hand is out playing advantage for something. We presume it's that. Oh, was that a kick? No, go back for the penalty. Can't touch the player in the air. It's an immediate penalty against. Santini drifting across as far as Estevez. Watmore to make the tackle, back to Santini. Santini trying to go the outside of Wilson Hardy. No room there. Back towards Sarda. And they're going to go wide here. Berent. Oh, that was a fumble, really, is the best way. You can see what she was trying to do, the quick pass on the outside, but just didn't pull it off.
Yeah, Sarah McKenna and Natasha Brennan decided to gamble, pushed up to force her to make the pass as quickly as possible. Campos.
And number 1.
All the change is going on out there for both teams.
Yeah, so plenty of new legs in to try and breathe some life in, certainly for Brazil. 5 minutes to play, 2 tries down. There's the feed. Shipped on from McKenna. Trying to find space on that outside. Tackle from Morocco. Still there for England though, and Natasha Hunt with the pass. Watmore trying to stretch the legs and the handoff. We've seen it effective in this tournament. The pass from Packer was brilliant, and Wilson Hardy looking for her second try. Then they catch her. No, they cannot. Brilliant stuff, lovely hands. Packer involved, Wilson Hardy with the finish, and England get their fourth.
Yeah, lovely interplay from England. 25 tries already for Amy Wilson Hardy. She's not been around that long, but it was the offload from Watmore to Packer, Packer to Amy Wilson Hardy, the forward pack combining, and Amy Wilson Hardy has the gas to finish it off. England will be pleased with that one.
24 points to 7, conversion to come. And it's going to be Sarah McKenna, started it right, didn't bring it back in enough, so 24-7 we stay, and Brazil now really need a miracle to come back into this one. I mean, your assessment of England overall, Sue, in the tournament, will they be slightly disappointed by how they performed today?
They'll be more than slightly disappointed. They lost a couple of tight games really, the France game and the USA game, just crucial moments in the game. They didn't make the right decisions or made errors. But it's small margins in sevens. That's the thing. We saw that in the New Zealand-Canada game as well. Small margins make a big difference, and it didn't go England's way today. It's not quite precise enough.
Well, they'll have some time to rectify things ahead of the double-header in Atlanta and Langford as Brazil try to come out of the 22. Bahrain with the pass on the outside now. Silva, little step from her. She's tackled, as is Skatrut, the other substitution. An advantage being played to Brazil. Again, the pass not particularly good. Santini lets it bounce up. A kind bounce as well for the Brazilian number 4. Nice little loop. And the pass on the outside. Now, how much pace? Watmore trying to give chase here. Tackle into touch is Mulbauer.
Yeah, Jo Watmore to me looks really assured in this fast prop roll. I'm a big fan of her there. She's really abrasive at the breakdown as well, but also brings that extra bit of pace on the outside and the forwards.
Referee just making sure the gap was there. Watmore uses her size, but the throw wasn't straight. Brazil get a scrum.
Small margins, we said. A chance for Brazil to get their hands on the ball. They've not had a huge amount of possession.
Well, Heather Fisher's had a brilliant tournament so far, and she is certainly not going to weaken this England team. Also in is Abigail Brown, her first series, and I'm sure a learning curve for her as well.
Yeah, you learn a huge amount playing in these tournaments that you couldn't learn anywhere else. It's not the same on the training part, but you're right, worth a word about Heather Fisher. She has had an outstanding tournament, taking the ball on at pace, huge presence in the breakdown, and a finishing ability. She's one of England's top try scorers this tournament.
Well, first scrum didn't go to plan. We'll have to reset, and Amy Wilson Hardy just sorting out the hair. Back to Brent. Penalty against England and Sarah McKenna for being offside. Quick tap and go from Santini. Runners on the right, the pass, and it's tired hands and legs out there. That's why the mistakes are happening. Tries to get the hand off well. You can't tackle with the hair, and we might see a card here.
Heather Fisher already knew, didn't she? Realised what she got hold of, said sorry, but it's too late at that point.
Santini, can Brazil make the extra player count? Well, almost a drop pass there. It looked like Mulbauer was expecting that one. Back to Santini, 2 players outside her, kicks it over the top. Anybody at home for England? There is. And Claire Allen has to just dive in that ball, gets back on her feet quickly, and look at the strength in the legs there as we approach 30 seconds left to play in this one. And there's time for one more try. There might be, you know. Brown to the outside, Wilson Hardy on a hat-trick. held up in the tackle there. Good strength for the Brazilian defence. You can see she's trying desperately to hit the ground. Brazil gets stuck in and win the scrum.
Yeah, just a little bit too high. Emma Wilson-Hardy cut back in. There were two defenders there, so she couldn't get it to ground. Not a bad option though from Santini to kick over. England to play it out, so they have to push everybody up in the front line, which means there's nobody back at home. Claire Allen though was equal to it for England. There's an awful lot of space to defend though, isn't there, when you're down to 6 and you're out in the backs defending.
Can Brazil get this one wide? Well, a bit of foot skills from Santini. The long pass from Berent. If it goes to Silva, she might back herself here. The pass should go. Silva pins the ears back and trying to go on the outside. Great cover tackle from Claire Allen, and it had to be. England get the penalty as well.
Yeah, she's one of England's best tacklers, Claire Allen. Almost never misses a tackle.
McKenna switches the play. Natasha Hunt gone full time here. What more? Last go, and well, why not go for the hat-trick? Wilson-Hardy tries to go the shortest route to the try line through the Brazilian defence. That one went forward. That should be at. Indeed it is. So England will finish in 7th place overall. Brazil have to settle for 8th. 24-7 the full-time score.